In the sweltering heat of a Mumbai traffic jam, a man sits in the dirt staring at the luxury cars rolling past. 6 months from this exact moment, this man will build a profitable business empire from nothing. His current survival strategy relies entirely on extraction. He sits at this intersection every day with a metal bowl, expecting the world to hand him a living. He offers nothing in return, growing visibly angry when the drivers ignore his outstretched hand. One afternoon, a black Mercedes pulls up. Frustrated by years of rejection, he marches up to the glass, demanding his cut. The window rolls down to reveal a stern businessman. The businessman doesn't reach for his wallet. Instead, he asks a simple question: "What do you have to offer?" The man has nothing. The businessman replies, "If you believe you have nothing to give, you have no right to ask the world for anything." That sentence freezes him in place. For years, people had ignored him or tossed him pity coins to make him go away. No one had ever challenged his complete lack of contribution. Chronic financial struggle often stems from this mindset. When an entire existence is built on extracting resources without replacing them, the market eventually starves the individual out. The next morning, the man spots a patch of wildflowers near the train tracks. Instead of walking to his intersection empty-handed, he gathers a bundle to test a new theory of exchange. He starts handing the flowers to drivers. No demands, no bowl. He watches people smile. Entirely unprompted, they start reaching into their pockets and handing him cash in exchange for the gift. This flowchart maps out the 2 paths he takes next. Reverting to old habits by asking for money first makes the windows roll up. The transaction only works when value flows outward first, providing a reason for the money to exist. Still, there is a hard ceiling to this strategy. Wildflowers wilts, and he can only carry so many. By midday, his inventory is gone, and his revenue stream stops completely. Trading a basic commodity is a step up from begging, but it relies purely on volume and manual labor. It lacks the leverage required to generate high-margin wealth. This Venn diagram explains the mentor's advanced framework. The businessman explains that the real leverage isn't in the plant itself, it's in finding a high emotional need. A flower handed to a random commuter has almost zero perceived value. They have no immediate use for the product. But locate an audience that desperately needs to resolve a conflict, and that exact same cluster of petals becomes a high-value solution. The man puts this to the test when he spots a young couple on a motorcycle, locked in a tense public argument. He walks straight up to the boyfriend, hands him a curated bouquet, and signals for him to give it to the woman. The boyfriend hands it over. The tension breaks. The woman smiles. Relieved, the boyfriend asks for the price. The man asks for 100 rupees, a massive premium compared to his previous collections. The boyfriend pays it gladly. Counting that bill, the man identifies the shift in his own status. He is now a provider of a high-demand service. Those 100 rupees represent the value of the peace and reconciliation he just restored to that sidewalk. True business scaling occurs the moment an entrepreneur moves beyond distributing physical objects and begins solving deep psychological problems. 6 months later, the results of this shift are visible. We see a man in a sharp suit sitting confidently in a high-end cafe. The businessman from the Mercedes is at a nearby table. When the man in the suit approaches him, it takes the mentor a moment to recognize the beggar he met at the traffic signal. The man explains his growth. He moved from the street corner to high-traffic hubs like temples and colleges. He reinvested his profits to buy inventory in bulk from wholesale traders and eventually hired others from the street to replicate his model across the city. This expansion was the result of a permanent identity shift. The beggar focused on his own hunger was replaced by a systemic strategist focused on the needs of thousands. Consistent focus on value creation eventually forces a person's external reality to match their internal mindset. The free market is a blind engine that only responds to one input: created value. It has no interest in your rent, your fatigue, or your desires. Waiting for luck is a losing strategy. You must stop demanding success from the universe and start engineering undeniable reasons for the market to reward you. Take an honest audit of your daily habits. Identify where your consumption is weighing you down and look for where you can contribute.
The moment you tip that scale from extraction to contribution, the cycle of financial struggle ends and building wealth begins. A change in mindset is the prerequisite to a change in life. Subscribe to the channel to keep building that framework and start engineering your own leverage today.